Hello everybody, welcome to Crystallis Kingdom. This is Darius, and today I have for you guys a big update in terms of information for Final Fantasy 15. Square Enix held an active time report last night, and they it was with Hajime Tabata, who's the current producer for Final Fantasy 15, and he went over some Q&As that a lot of people had from filling out the surveys for Final Fantasy 15 episode Duscae, and it was really good. As you can see in the title, they have a little bit of an announcement, and they had a lot of information to go with that announcement. But first off, I just wanted to go over you guys with all of the information and concerns that they had, that actually we had, and they addressed that and what they're gonna do with all that. So if you want to get to that announcement, you could skip ahead in the video to get to that, but I highly suggest you guys stay for this information because it does pertain to that. It does lead up to it, it does connect to it, and all of this information is important for even when 15 does finally release in full, whenever that may be. So I'm going to start off by just going in order of what they did. So they started off by thanking everyone for the 1 million units sold in the participation in episode Duscae and the surveys. And then they went over some data collected from the survey. You'll probably see these stats throughout the video, but I'll go over them now. But basically, in a nutshell, the game did pretty well. For them, they feel that 8.6 average around the world with people who were able to play it was a pretty satisfying number, especially for something that's not even the full game and that may have had some bugs in it. They said, for example, that Europe and North America was pretty satisfied with the demo, while Japan wasn't as satisfied, but they did enjoy the demo. So that's literally just a wrap up. But as I said, in this video, you'll see exactly these stats in the background as I'm going through all this information with you guys, so you can get a better example. Now I'm gonna go over all the stuff that they collected from the survey in terms of questions and criticism by the player about episode Duscae. So the number one thing that they said was a problem was the lock-on system, and they said that they're already working on that. They also mentioned that there was a lock-on option in the actual demo, but it was kind of a hidden feature, and that wasn't on purpose. They said for PlayStation it was the R3 button when you click in the analog stick, but a lot of people didn't know that because they didn't they didn't go over that in the demo, so they didn't mean for that to happen. But locking on was in the demo, but they'll improve on that because they felt that we said that when you lock onto enemies, they would kind of go off screen and it would kind of mess up the whole feel of the battle, but they're gonna work on that to make that better. The second criticism was that the camera was too close, and they basically just said they're already working on that to give the player options to adjust the camera to make it to suit it to their liking, so they can see more or see less. The third criticism was that the camera was too slow and sluggish, and again, they're already working on that to make it smoother and better for the player to control, make the overall experience better. Number 4 criticism from us that we said was that the AI was pretty dumb, and basically that they were getting in the way of Noctis when we would try to do certain things, or they would just rush in, and I kind of felt sometimes that would happen too, and it was a little annoying. But basically they said that the way the AI behaves, they're gonna keep that because that makes them feel more lively, and I do agree. But they did say that there were some bugs that kind of made them do stuff that were a little weird, like just stand in front of you and not move, or just rush in and into battle without really planning it, or if they had low health, they would just still go in. And I assume that they're gonna allow us to have options where we adjust the team and what they do and what their role will be. So yeah, they basically what they said, the main way the AI works, they're gonna keep it the same way just because of that's how the characters are in terms of how they are as people and how they are as in their relationship together, and how they act normally. So how they act in battle is how they would really act. I don't know, kind of reflects how they act when they're not in battle. So the number 5 complaint that we had was the jaggies in terms of like the resolution and the frame rate. They saw lots of complaints about it from North America and Europe, and not so much Japan. But they are more concerned about the frame rate rather than the resolution. So they did say that they're gonna address the frame rate issue, which was mostly just bug issues. They're gonna address that first before they actually go on to the resolution. Previously they did say they were targeting full HD, which is 1080p, but they did say that frame rate does come first, and I have to agree. I would rather have a steady frame rate with such a big open world than have 1080p with the frame rate being, you know, very inconsistent and kind of messing up gameplay. But they said that, you know, that's 1080p 30 frames per second isn't totally out of the question still. It may be possible, and if it is, they're gonna try and do that. But frame rate comes first, and they also said that anti-aliasing wasn't in episode Duscae, so that will be in the final game, and it will look better overall. Number 6 was that the motion was too realistic, which basically means that it was kind of slow at times, and they basically said they're gonna keep this, but they will you know, they will implement stuff to make travel faster and also modify weapon movement. You know, to like, for example, if you have you know, a smaller sword rather than the Zweihander, which is a big buster blade, they're gonna add stuff to make, you know, the difference in movement between those two weapons much more noticeable and more satisfying. Number 7 is that there was no mini-map or compass, and a lot of people wanted that, and it already will be in the final game. They said that they already added that, but people also asked for a radar to see allies better and get a better feel as to where the you know, your allies are on the field. But Tabata said that he feels that fixing the camera will also fix that problem. So they might add a radar, but they're not really sure about that. Number 8 complaint was that people wanted a dodge or a what is it? Yeah, dodge system basically without usage of the MP. They said that this will be in the final game, so don't worry about it. It's already going to be in the final game. A system where you can dodge without, you know, it consuming your MP. Another one was that they wanted them to fix the magic point system, because a lot of people felt that the game was just about hiding behind rocks and then going back in battle. They're already fixing on balancing the MP restoration system, but Hajime Tabata actually said that he actually kind of likes the idea behind hiding behind a rock or warping to a high vantage point to get out of the battle and just kind of recover a little bit. And I have to agree, but I will also say that I want, you know, the MP gauge to be you know, a little bit balanced out, so that's not all we're doing. And he did say that in the final game there's going to be stuff that kind of counters that too, and I assume he means you're going to be able to upgrade and have items that kind of you know, go with your magic point gauge and make stuff easier. Number 10 is that Japan actually said that the game was too difficult, while North America and Europe said that it wasn't difficult enough. And basically all they said was that adding a difficulty selection in the game will probably fix this. So there's going to be a difficulty selection in the final game. The number 11 criticism was that the controls were bad, and they said that you know, they'll most likely add a button remap. I don't know if you guys know this though, the PS4 actually had an update where you can remap the buttons to any, you know, for any game period. So all you have to do is go into the system settings and you can remap which button is which. So even if they don't add that, you can do that even with episode Duscae right now. So yeah, they're gonna add button remapping for the game in-game, but if they don't, the PS4 already has that. For Xbox users, I'm not really sure. Number 12 criticism was that stamina for sprinting was annoying. They basically said that they're gonna keep this because this adds, you know, liveliness to the characters and to Noctis, but they will add buffs to the game that allow for longer and faster running. But they did say in episode Duscae there are buffs that do allow, you know, they do allow you to run for a longer amount of time, just not faster. The number 13th criticism was that people wanted to use warping for traveling, and they did say that in the E3 trailer people were probably referring to this, how warping in, it seemed like you could warp around for traveling in that. But they said that the reason why it did seem that way is because in those trailers they did have our meager mode activated, which is basically a mode where Noctis just like kind of warps around and like travels and everything way faster. And they said that because you have 4 people in your your group, they want people to actually work with them to make the battles more interesting. And if he was able to warp around all the time like that, it really kind of wouldn't make any sense for you to have a team. But they did say that this was actually a mechanic in the game, but it did allow a lot of bugs to be found. And due to the world being so big and open, how you could just basically warp to the other side and the game would kind of mess up really, and bugs would open. So it'll basically just stay how it is. There will be other means of travel like the car and probably chocobo, so I wouldn't worry too much about traveling in this game. It's just that episode Duscae was pretty limited. The number 14th criticism was allowed to cancel attacks. That's already done. They said that they already have that implemented into the final game, and but they did say some offensive attacks can't be canceled for strategic purposes in the game. Number 15 was bugs. They did express how they had a funny yet shocked expression or reaction when they came back to work the next day and found that people already found Titan. But in a nutshell, they basically said that this will be fixed, obviously. Now, they had that was the 15th question. They were basically done, but they had 2 other criticisms that the marketing head in this active time report wanted to bring up. So basically, these are 2 more questions. And the first question that he brought up that was pretty important was that Noctis, along with the characters in the game, their voices kind of were a little weird, but more so Noctis. And even Hajime Tabata said that he kind of sounded like Batman, which I found was pretty funny. But he did say that for this demo, that there was basically episode Duscae had its own voice acting, and that the final game will have better voice acting to kind of better suit Noctis, and it'll actually look like it actually fits the way he looks and how he acts. The number 17 was that people complained that Cindy was too sexy, but at the same time they wanted her in the group, and that kind of confused them. They said that Cindy won't be in the group, and again he kind of went over how things would change if she was in the group and how they would act. I'm not going to go into that. I actually have a video on that issue as to why there's no women in the core party, but basically he just feels that it's better for people to have for the group to have guests to come in every once in a while and help them out. He did admit that Cindy may look a little too sexy, and that was basically quote unquote the heart and soul of the artists in the development team, putting a lot of effort into it. But they did reiterate that Cindy is not about sex. She's just a very energetic person, and we also have to remember out in Japan, like how their fashion statement is and how everything is, that's normal to them. But he did say he acknowledges that, and that they might address it, but she will not be in the party, and for the most part she'll probably stay the same how she looks in terms of appearance. Now that I'm done with all of the criticisms and the answering and all that stuff, as it says in the title, they did announce that episode Duscae 2.5 will be coming most likely. And what I mean by most likely is basically that they hope to have an update basically for episode Duscae. Instead of releasing a whole nother demo, they hope to patch episode Duscae to add a whole bunch of features, and I'm going to go over these features right now. So basically the first one that they're confirming that they've already got is an AXB enhancement, and I'm pretty sure that means ability crossbar enhancement. They also confirmed that they're going to fix the camera, the lock-on system, and add more combat actions and overall balance, and add more joint attacks. Rather than the ones that you just saw with Noctis in Prompto or Noctis in Ignis. They said that they're gonna add dodge roll as well, and also not really consuming your MP if you have a perfect evade. Some other stuff that they're considering for the update is individual quests, where basically the group breaks up and takes on different quests together, and will come back at the end of the day and still bring you back all of the experience and the materials that they picked up in those quests. They said, like I said before, they said they hope they can do this. The only setback is that no one has ever really updated a demo before, and you know, it's really a first party issue with, you know, Sony and Microsoft, but I'm pretty sure they'll allow this to happen. They want to give something back to the people who did, you know, fill out the survey and really did play the demo. Now I'm gonna go on to the next thing, which is basically announcements in terms of E3 and other like gaming events. They said that this is a little surprising, but they did say that there won't be too much for Final Fantasy 15 at E3, but there will be a lot for 15 at Gamescom, which, if you don't know, is a gaming event held in Germany. And the reason for this is because they have a plan for how they're going to promote this game, and with E3 being so close, that doesn't really give them a lot of time. So they feel that Gamescom is the best place to start really gearing up for this game. And that also means that this game is getting closer and closer if they're really starting to gear up for proper marketing and all that stuff, which is awesome. So for E3, they did say they'll most likely have a trailer for us, and if they do release episode Duscae 2.0, then it'll most likely come out shortly, like very closely before E3. So we'll get something for E3, but in terms of information for this game, we're probably gonna have to wait for Gamescom. And also they say, you know, Jump Festa and Tokyo Game Show and all that stuff. So what we're hearing right now is basically E3 will get episode Duscae 2.0, and then we'll get a trailer, but not much info. But after that, at any other gaming events after that, we're gonna get a lot more information. They also said they want to do more surveys like this, and yeah, so that's basically it for this active time report. I know this is a longer video, but hopefully you guys stayed for all of this. My thoughts on this, I'm just going to try to wrap this up real quick, but I think it's awesome that they're addressing all these problems that they're already done with, and I'm glad they're updating episode Duscae. I kind of made a prediction that they might, you know, show another demo for this game or release another demo for this game, but this is, you know, the next best thing is just really just updating the game to, like, you know, a limited amount of people who really do want to play this game, and really give their feedback. I can't wait for, you know, at least another trailer at E3 and this update and all this. I think what really makes this really nice for me, and I know a lot of people, is that all this really just reassures that the game is really coming this time. Like, everything is ready for us, and they're really trying to get this out and get our feedback, and they want this to be a very good game for us. So that's it for what I think about this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What was your favorite thing about this active time report? Let me know what you're most excited about in the future, and what you're excited about from episode Duscae 2.0. If you enjoyed this video, please like, favorite, and share it. Please subscribe to me, and you know, share this video with anybody who hasn't been updated on this information yet. Like I said, please subscribe, show support if you can, share this channel with anyone who's not aware of it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.